Y'all, we got us a big fish. We got us another true crime documentary based off a podcast that's just like boom. Okay. The twist, the turns I was not expecting. Now, I just watched episode 1 of Hulu's Betrayal. I'm only on episode 1. All right. But as a therapist, we got to come together and talk about it because what happens when you decide to marry someone who you think is going to give you the American dream, who feels like home, who makes you feel like you've never felt before, for it all to just blow up in your face. Okay, that's what this documentary gave. Now, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. All right, because we're going to talk about some things that will bring up some feelings, some things you may have gone through. You know, someone who has gone through it. So check in with yourself before you start watching this. Okay. Now, this is based off the number one true crime podcast, Betrayal. Okay, I didn't watch all the seasons, and so when I saw a new season was up, I had to get into it. Now, this woman, she's been through a lot before she even met this man. All right, before she even met this man, she had been going through a lot. She was in her first relationship. She fell in love with that person, 18, 19, very young, had some self-esteem issues due to her weight. Always felt like her weight got in the problem of her finding true love. And so at a young age, she got married, had 2 kids. And then one day that first husband is like, you know what? I'm not happy. Just rolled over one day and said, I'm not happy. And I think a lot of people can relate to getting married young or just in general being married to someone, having that person suddenly out of nowhere tell you, I don't want this no more. I really don't. And you think, okay, this is the worst thing that could happen to me, right? Oh, girl, it got bad. With this woman, it got bad. Okay. So her first husband decided, I don't want to be with you no more. And she actually found out he was cheating. And then as a result of her feeling like, was it my weight? Is it my size that you're not attracted to me? She didn't eat for 3 weeks. Thinking that if only I was a little bit smaller, that might change things. But ultimately it really didn't. And so she had 2 kids at that point. She picked them up and decided to start a new life. All right. Daddy stayed where he wasn't really involved too much in the kids' lives. Seemed like he was an absentee father. And so she moved on. All right. So then she meets, in her eyes, the man of her dreams, Dr. Justin. He was studying to be a doctor, a resident, and she was introduced to him by a friend. And instantly she thought, this is my husband. This is the person I want to marry. All right. This is the one for me. After that first date, this was the one. And I'm wondering, thinking back now, were there red flags? Um, did she decide too soon that this was the person for her? Was it all just a play to manipulate? Did he see the weaknesses in her, the self-esteem, the insecure issues within her, and decide you're gonna be the one? Okay, you're gonna be the one that I'll manipulate, unfortunately, take advantage of not only you, but your family. But your family. And this is a man who had to have some predatory behaviors before even meeting her. So they get married. Now I got my notes because it was pretty good, okay? Um, so she marries him. They have 2 kids, and they're happy. They're living the American dream. They move into a big house. Things are going well. She feels like I am finally happy. I went from being struggling as a single mom, trying to date, not find anybody. Her oldest daughter, Michaela, would sabotage the dates because she just didn't want her mom to be married. And she had Michaela very young. I believe it was like a day before her 19th birthday or something. She gave birth to Michaela. So they grew up together. So they have a very close relationship. Keep that in mind. All right. Let me breathe because damn. And so one day she gets a call from Justin's living godmother who was living with them. Also, there was a point in time where her daughter got married, and that person, daughter's husband, moved in, and they were all living together. Their house, their big house, was a place where all the kids came over for parties, teams. This was that house. Okay, swimming pool, everything. Okay, living the American dream, right? Everything I ever wanted, right? Until one day, she gets a call. You need to come home, sis. Okay. His godmother calls her and says, you need to come home. Is everything okay? What's going on? Just come home. And when she get home, the FBI is raiding her motherfucking house. Okay? The FBI is raiding her house. And what's going on? What's happening? And she never could have guessed. They raided her house. Got ready for this? Because her husband was secretly recording them in the bathroom. Yes, but we're gonna break it down. Okay. If y'all haven't already, hit that like and subscribe. So, yes, it comes out that this was a plan by the FBI and local police. Local police, y'all did y'all job in this one. Most of the time, y'all don't be doing your job. Okay. At this point, I'm only on episode 1. I have the right to change my mind. But, it comes out that they're like, ma'am, sit down. And they have a binder, y'all. Not no 1 inch. We have a binder. And she sits down and she opens up the binder and there are photos of a block. Do I have a block in here? Okay, let me get my block. They have photos of something like this. The black. And now me as a mother, me as somebody who just uses this to charge my phone would never guess you can put a motherfucking camera in this. Okay. So this man had a black iPhone charger in the bathroom with a camera in it, y'all. What a camera. Okay. And it was one day that someone was using the bathroom, a friend, and I believe her son Tyler's, because she has 4 kids, the 2 oldest by the first marriage and then 2 younger ones by this one. And so one of the friends, I believe Tyler's friend, was using the bathroom. And it's like, oh, what is that? He probably saw the flashlight, the little beeping light. Okay. So he takes it out and he takes it home to his mama. And him and his mama realize it's an SD card inside, y'all. Only the sickest people, only, because I don't even know how you would open this to put an SD card up in there. Okay? Only the sickest. And that's when shit hit the fan. All right? Shit hits the fan. And her whole life is blown up. Okay? Her whole life that she thought she was going to have with this man. Only to find out that he was secretly recording. Okay? Imagine the trauma of finding out that this man you've been living with, having children with, giving him access to children in the neighborhood, had a hidden camera. Okay. This is betrayal trauma. Betrayal trauma caused by somebody close, normally romantic figures. How many of you guys can relate to having some betrayal trauma from some of a romantic partner or an authority figure? Now, I think, of course, she was in shock, disbelief, and was experiencing to me just like similar to the last documentary we discussed with the Catfish mama, cognitive dissonance, confusion, denial, pure shock. Like, what? But he a doctor though. But he's the father of my kids. But what? How could this happen to me? Okay. And I think there's just in the beginning stages, just a lot of disbelief. A lot of disbelief because you would never think that somebody you love. And the cognitive dissonance. Y'all know sometimes I can't say so many words. Is the psychological discomfort that a person feels when they have to hold two conflicting beliefs. This is my husband, I love him, but could he be a predator? Okay, these conflicting beliefs, values, and attitudes, the behavior contradicts itself, which is cognitive dissonance. I love you, you're there for me, you're the supportive father, but you had a camera in the bathroom. I can't make sense of this, of how my husband can be this person. And then you have the self blame. Okay, as a single mother, she's trying to shield herself from this whole what's going on, or processing the revelation to herself. And it seemed like the police came and talked to him, but right away he didn't go to jail. And it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, that also he was still living in the home. Okay. It seemed like in the beginning he really didn't have to leave, or he didn't leave. I didn't say have to. He really did not leave the home. They stayed together. But there was something that happened. Was it the Snapchat? There was something that happened that made the wife realize, okay, I need to get up out of here. And she went to go stay with Michaela. I believe it was that. Oh, let's get to this part, the Snapchat. Now, all this stuff is breaking, life falling apart. And then Michaela, her oldest daughter, I forgot to mention that she went to school for psychology. Okay. She went to school for psychology. And she's one day sitting at a light. Okay. Sitting at a light and gets a message on Snapchat. Okay. And now the message, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. The message is that, hey, I was abused by your stepfather. I remember one evening I fell asleep, I was under the influence, and I just remember someone pulling a blanket off of me. And that somebody was Justin. Now, Michaela goes right into psychology mode, validating this person. I think it shocked herself. It's interesting how she went into I'm a mandated reporter. Like, we just wear that. We just know how to just go into that. Now, she's not a therapist, but she went to school for psychology, and I believe she's working at an outpatient facility. So that is really like, and she knows based off of studying these things that once something like this comes out, it's a domino. It's not just one victim, there are going to be multiple victims. Okay. Now we get to the second twist. Y'all ready for this? Michaela goes to the police with this message. And the police sit her down because it seemed like she did not know the details of what was really going on. And I wonder if her mom was trying to protect her and kept some things away from her. Um, so she didn't know the details of everything that was going on with this whole Justin case. So she goes to the police, y'all. And the police are like, oh, we have a binder. And we need you to identify some of these people in these photos. The photos that were taken in the bathroom of children unclothed. Now imagine sit with that shit, y'all. I came in here to give y'all this. What? You- What? Okay, so they give her one binder. Oh, but they got two. They have two binders. And then the second binder is of her. This man that she loved, she saw as a father, who she thanked for coming into her life after not wanting her mom to be involved with men. She just wanted to be the three of them, her mom, her brother, and her. But she was able to eventually develop a relationship with Justin and let him in, only to now be sitting there and having her world shattered. Because the police are like, oh, we got a second binder. You know what? And the second binder, Michaela, is of you and your husband. And some of the extracurriculars that you and your husband might have been doing in the bathroom. Just sit with that shit. Okay. In the home that you dreamed of, this big house, you knew that, there were things that he did to other people, but to know that my daddy did that to me, my stepfather, the man I looked up to, the betrayal, the shock, that the predators that my parents trying to protect me from outside were coming from inside. Were coming from inside. Okay. So all that she's having to take in, having to take in that this person that I thought I knew, the trauma of it, that now I'm a victim. I'm not a witness. I'm not someone coming forward with evidence. I am now a victim also. Okay. And I could only imagine in that moment, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Your whole world now is like, wow, this person that influenced me to go get my degree, now I have to use some of that stuff on him and figure out who are you? Who are you? And we see how this was a master manipulator. And I'm only on episode 1. Yeah, I still got 2 more episodes. I'm wondering how this doctor turned into this. Turned into this. But in some ways, he was always this person. And I wonder when we have men enter our children's lives, when you are a single mother and you're meeting somebody new, are there signs? Were there things that she missed? Was it just that he was an opportunist and he was shielded behind, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm smart. That's what everybody saw. That no one would suspect who he really was. And if you watch Law and Order SVU, some of the people at the top of them companies, doctors, are oftentimes on the dark web, viewing, pleasuring, looking at different things. Okay. And so we get towards the end of the episode, episode 1. And Michaela's like, yeah, there's gonna be a domino effect. There has to be more people. There has to be more people. Who else could this happen to that we might know? And Michaela's like, well, did CPS talk to Tyler, who's her brother? Yeah, mom says, yeah, they talked to him. But he said dad was a loving dad. He was a great father. But then one day, Tyler is sitting in the house with his aunt, I believe. And the aunt just to me had that third eye. It has a conversation. Like, Tyler, since right now they don't have enough evidence to get him on a lot of these charges, he could get the bare minimum. Be charged maybe with lewd acts and be released. And if he's released, he would still have access to your younger brother and sister. And that's when he just started crying. And the aunt knew Tyler was a victim too. Much more than a victim than Michaela was. Tyler was his go-to victim. And so this first episode, I'm just like, wow, what's wrong with parents? We're seeing more and more of these stories of parents who use their children for selfish needs, rooted in evil. Rooted in evil. How do you as a person do this to your own child? No. Now, were they blood related? No. But this is still your child in your home that you chose to have two younger kids in. Okay. This to me is master manipulation. And how do you heal from betrayal trauma? Now, this is only the beginning. I got 2 more episodes to watch. Okay. Y'all need to tap in and watch these episodes also because you would think that people are doing the right thing, raising their kids, but over and over again, we're just seeing more and more stories about the perfect facade. And how I wonder if, Stacey is, as she's doing this documentary, going through it, we see the exploring the I should have seen it. And how we, as a therapist, are trying to support clients and acknowledging, you know, and promoting self-compassion that you couldn't have maybe you couldn't have seen it. And having to heal from a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think predators often use love, respectability as a camouflage, contributing to deeper trauma upon disclosure. I think that he knew the trauma that Stacey had been through with other relationships, self-esteem. He weaponized her trauma in her past. And so many women end up with men just like this. Maybe not the predatory behavior in that sense, but predatory to weaponizing my trauma against me. Did you ever really love me? Okay. It's just like I see the power, control, manipulation in these episodes coming. And it's only gonna get worse, y'all. Okay. But I think we see how does the perfect American dream really exist anymore? I want to know from you guys. But once again, we're seeing another parent to me who has sociopath behaviors, narcissistic behaviors, and only cares about themselves. Okay. Why? Just why? Why put that woman and her children through all that? You could have prevented this by leaving her alone, not having more kids, not having more kids. Okay. But I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the episodes. Let me know you guys' thoughts on episode 1. Okay, let me go back over there and watch episode 2 right quick. But yeah, I'm loving Betrayal. I love this this season thus far. I need to start listening to the podcast. I just don't drive as much, so I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts anymore. Banger. Banger. All right. But like this video, hit subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Woo. And we'll continue to watch these episodes as a family. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.